Hey there folks, how you doing today? Hope all is going well for you. Welcome back to the program. Today's video is going to be really short. It's going to be rather technical, and it's not going to have a whole lot of the fluff and filler that you've all come to know and love and expect. So our platform here today is a Ruger Mini200R Ranch rifle. This is a pre-2005 188 series. For those of you that know much about these, you'll know that these weren't the best ones in terms of accuracy, although the previous owner of this particular piece said that it would shoot minute of woodchuck, whatever that means. Common to the pre-2005 Ranch Rifle series, they had this little flip down iron sight here in the back. I'll get you a picture of that momentarily. This one's broken. That's a common occurrence. It's a brittle little piece of metal that snaps back and forth and they just break off with time. Now I looked on Midway USA, I think the part was $13.99. I will put a list up here to show you what it would have cost to replace this with a factory original part. The option that I went with is slightly more expensive than that, but I think the consensus on the internet is it is a better option. So the option that we went with for the Mini200R was the tech sight, which a lot of people say is a vastly superior sight to the factory original flip down iron sight. I purchased this one direct from Tech Sights, which is located at 821 Stucky Bottom Road, Hartsville, South Carolina. Man, anything on Stucky Bottom Road has to be good. But anyway, let me open this up here so that you can see what we got. All right. So here we have, and I'll try to keep the glare off of it for y'all. This is Tech Sights GI type aperture sight for the Ruger Mini200R. This particular one is the R version, the Mini200R, which is required for use with the Mini200R Ranch rifle. Flipping it over here to the back, you'll see this package includes the rear aperture sight for a pre-2005 Ranch rifle, detailed instructions for installation and sight adjustment, and all necessary hardware. That's awesome. In fact, the only thing I'm not crazy about with this is when you look down here at the bottom and you see made in Taiwan. For $75, you would have figured perhaps it would have been an American made piece, but I guess that might just be a little too much to ask for. Regardless, I'm going to show you the installation now in real time. Okay folks, and utilizing the limited resources that I have available to me here, I will attempt to do this in real time so that you can see how to replace this rear sight. Utilizing the Allen wrench that came with the new Tech sight, we're going to loosen the set screw right here in front of the old aperture sight. I realize I'm doing this backwards, bear with me. Okay. Once you remove the set screw, you should be able to just kind of wiggle that loose and pop the whole thing out. There you go. Just to remove any grease or oil that was under there. So our first step will be to set the adapter block with the large beveled hole towards the rear scope mount recess. Taking one of the screws from the packaging on our Allen wrench, we'll put a little bit of blue Loctite. Pay no attention to the sticker that my buddy Jerry stuck on there. He's a real comedian. And we're going to just kind of get it started down in the hole there. And I'm going to let the beveled screw do the work of centering that plate. For reasons I don't understand, the plate is a little bit shorter than the groove, but they assure me this will work, so we're going to go with that. It does line up with the bevel on the front here. So we got that screw torqued down nice and tight. In fact, maybe a little too tight. I recommend that you use a torque wrench. I'm not. So now the instructions say to place the shim over the rear hole and then place the rear sight on over that. Again, we'll take the other screw and apply a little bit of the blue thread locker to it. And I'm not going to torque that one quite as tight as I did the last one because I kind of boogered the screw head on the first one. It wasn't as hard of steel as I would have thought that it would be. I can't overemphasize the importance of a proper inch-pound gunsmith's wrench to do this properly. I do not have one, so we're not going to use one, but it probably should be used. So now, in the same little package that the Allen wrench came in, are two little blind hex screws. I'll try to get those in view there for you. And those go in as set screws on either side of the rear sight body. So again, we're going to start them on our wrench, apply a little blue thread locker. You really wouldn't want to use red thread locker for this. You could, but then you might have a hard time taking it off if you were ever so inclined. So I'm just going to kind of help that along to get it started. And now, rinse and repeat with the other side. Now I'm going to try to do this so that you can see how the set screw goes into place. I did the one on the back side, but obviously I realized you couldn't see it. I'm kind of pushing it forward with my nail as I go because it just wants to slip on the Allen key otherwise. So I'm just applying enough pressure to get it firm, and I'm going to leave it alone until I have the rifle zeroed in. Alright, so there you have it. We now have the rear sight installed on our Mini-14 ranch rifle. Next step is to take it out to the range and make sure it works. That won't be today, I just had too much going on, but we will get it out there sometime in the very near future. So, as always, we got a few parts left over. Those are just the factory sight pieces. I'll keep them just for the sake that I keep most of that kind of stuff. But again, this is the Tech Sight rear aperture sight for a pre-2005 Ruger Mini-14 ranch rifle. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got anything out of this, I ask that you give us a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to the channel to help us defeat the anti-2A algorithms that YouTube has in place. So until next time, take care. God bless.